Hello, hello. Welcome to Speak Like a Leader, part two of the business edition. All right, so over the past few days, we've been diving deep into leadership communication and how it applies to business success. In part one, I explored the importance of combining value and impact and speaking directly to decision makers, i.e., your ideal clients. Today, I'm taking it to the next level with you, and we're going to cover how the principles from day 4 through 7 of the challenge, which was strategic visibility, executive presence, and why not you, which was day 7, and bringing it all together. How you can utilize those concepts and apply them to growing your business and amplifying your leadership. By the end of this episode, you're going to understand how to align your voice with your goals to make money, get recognized, and create your next opportunity. Before I jump into those concepts and recapping them from the perspective of business, one of the things I want to share with you was something that I was coaching about today. And it was when we think about speaking like a leader in our business, I need you to shift your mind around what it means to be a leader in someone else's company versus what it means to be a leader, i.e., the CEO in your own business, because it impacts how you show up. It impacts the decisions you make or the decisions you don't make. When we show up as leaders in other people's businesses, a lot of times there are frameworks and there's structures and there's protocols that we are following that are already in place because someone else before us created them. Even if you've had roles like I have, where I've built out new teams and needed to create processes and procedures and policies, there's still a framework there. In your business, there is no structure unless you create the structure. So that means you need to pull in the leadership understanding you have from your work experience and apply it to your business and start showing up like the CEO, not like a worker in your business, not like an entrepreneur, not like a business owner. And the reason why I'm saying that is because words like entrepreneur, business owner, a side hustler, none of those words evoke emotion in us. And because they don't evoke emotion, we can throw them around, but they don't evoke us into action because there's no emotion to trigger it. But when you think about leadership, when you think about being a CEO and what that means from a leadership perspective, it likely evokes some sort of emotion. Even if that emotion is fear, we can work from that place because at least you're feeling something. You know that something has to be done, and you can go about the business of working with me or finding the coach that can support you to get those things done. CEOs are not hiding. An entrepreneur, depending on the business, can hide. Not in many businesses, but in some, they can hide. They can, especially if it's a technical expertise or a technical business, get away with maybe not using their voice in the best way or having to use it a lot. But those people often bring in people who do know how to use their voice in order to grow their business. So I want you to think about when you have on your hat for your career, if you're still working full time for someone else, and how you show up as a leader there versus how are you showing up as a leader in your business. I don't care if you haven't made any money. I don't care about any of that. Are you showing up as a leader with the understanding that you are the head decision maker and that you must make decisions in your business in order to move it forward? And that decision likely starts with being willing to be visible and use your voice as your biggest asset. With that level setting and understanding, it leads me into the first concept we're going to cover for today, which is strategic visibility for business success. The concept we discussed in the challenge was quiet excellence won't grow your business, strategic visibility does. You don't have to be visible each and every day. You don't have to be a content creator. You do have to be strategic about where you're choosing to spend your time, effort, and energy in being visible. Doing all the background work, the behind the scenes work, creating great concepts, tools, frameworks, courses, all of that behind the scenes is awesome. It won't get people to buy from you because they have not connected to you. Because when you are in the background doing all the things that make you feel comfortable and that you're used to, no one saw you do it. No one heard you talk about it. No one knew you was even back there creating it. So once you're done and you have something to offer, there is no one to hear it. Or there's no one prepared to buy it because you didn't set the stage for them to do so. When it comes to strategic visibility, I want you to identify one platform or venue where your target audience is most active. Create a plan for how you're going to consistently show up with messaging that aligns with your biggest needs. Listen, if consistency is your number one challenge, then I want you to switch away from consistency and start asking yourself, what do I want people to say about my brand and what is my reputation I want to have in the marketplace? That switch that I got coached on, another coach gave me, changed the game for me because me showing up consistently wasn't getting me to show up consistently. Me having more discipline, it wasn't moving the needle. It was probably creating overwhelm and anxiety for me. But the way that she gave it to us is the way I'm going to give it to you because she was a sister. And I think that it's a very good example that resonates on such a deep level. If your business is that you own a restaurant and you say that your days of the week that you work are, let's say, 10 to 8, 7 days a week, that's when your customers can expect you to be open. If you're open those days, yes, you are being consistent. That is what you are doing. For the rest of us, if you're not open one of those days, and I think I'm going to have lunch at your place, and it is 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and you're not open, I'm going to Yelp and I'm going to say that you are not a good standing business, and now your reputation is ruined. Instead of thinking about consistency, think about your reputation. No, people don't trust you because you've been around a long time. People trust the people that do what they're going to say they're going to do and show up when they say they're going to show up, or show up on some level where you've told people what they can expect from you. So if you don't want people to expect from you, you've got to decide what it is you're willing to give and then give it so that your reputation stays above board. Which, amazingly enough, leads us into the second concept, which is executive presence, because executive presence is about your brand. And in business, showing up is your brand. This is what executive presence looks like from a business perspective. If your business isn't consistent, if your business has a bad reputation, we can't even get to executive level presence. We have to work on just having a presence. And there are starting places for us all. So if what we're working on, if what you're working on right now is just having a presence, that is okay. But be intentional about and honest with yourself about where you are and what needs to happen for you to get to the next level. What is the least amount that you need to do to one, make money in your business and to do it in the easiest manner possible. For many of you, you're trying to work your way into a thriving business, and that is not how it works. It's not how it works in your day job if you still have one. It's not how it works in any of your other relationships. You have to communicate, communicate, communicate. So under all circumstances, your voice is your biggest asset. If you want to grow your business, somebody needs to know you have one. Your voice is what's going to tell them. And your voice doesn't have to be on social media, but it does have to talk to someone. So you need to be visible. And when you show up, you need to have a presence. To have a presence also means that there is a level of confidence, one that you carry from within you. And you need to be willing to tell people what you're doing. It does not matter if it doesn't work out. It is okay. The only people that are going to judge you because it didn't work out are people who want to be in your shoes. Any person that's about this entrepreneur business knows that there are ebbs and flows. People come and people go. People come back when the timing is right for them. Be willing to have the confidence to strategically be visible and bet on you. Do in your business the activities that will make you money first, not the activities you want to do, not the activities that feel good to you, the activities that will make you money, that will allow people to hear your voice and hear it with a place of confidence. For me, that looked like when I started my business back in the end of 2018. In 2019, I started this podcast. If you go back, you'll see that this podcast started, or the Confident Woman Lead podcast, which was under a different name at the time, goes back to 2019. I started there because it was the place I knew I could show up with confidence, because it did not require me to be on camera, because I was not ready to be on camera. And so many of you are like wanting to force that. I grew my business, and to this date, podcasting still brings in more than 50% of the members inside of CWL. The podcast, my voice. Your voice is your biggest asset. You can create videos and do all of those things that don't have a voice, but you need to be doing something in a way that is unique to you for it to catch traction. All the other influencers and people you follow them because they've said something, because they have a voice. They're talking about something and they're using what makes them unique to do it. That is why it is working for them. It's not working because they're so good at social media. 9 times out of 10, it is working because they know how to talk about what they're talking about in a way that only they can talk about it. There are numerous content creators that are comedians. We saw so many new comedians emerge over these last couple of years that we wouldn't have otherwise known if it had not been for the pandemic. But what we know about them is what they have told us. What we know about them is that they make us laugh because they said something. When you show up and be present, whether that's in a podcast, whether that's on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, what do you want people to know about you? You can go back to the beginning of this podcast to hear my story. You can listen to those earlier ones and listen to the later ones to see the growth. You can hear the growth. You can hear the healing. You can hear it because I'm willing to use my voice even when it's not as pretty as I would like. Listen, there is nothing cute, at least not for me, in editing these recordings and hearing my own self-talk. There is nothing that I enjoy about it at all. But I am willing to listen to it so that I can increase my presence, so that I can decide what needs to be revamped, what words that I've picked up on. Like the word right is my favorite right now. Can you tell? Have you listened to the other ones? And so I've come to learn that I'm going to have a word. It might not be but I'm going to have a word. And so instead of resisting that, I just make it my signature word for the moment. And I lean into it to some extent. What is it you want me to know about your presence? When you show up, when you speak, what is it that you want people to know? I want you to know that I am serious about you. You can go back and listen to the more than 100 episodes. I am not just an expert. I am not just going to tell you what you want to hear. I am not the coach for people who want to be babysat. I am the coach for women, Black women, brown women who want to be successful. And success is not determined by me, it is determined by you. But whatever that is, I can help you create it. And as the old folks used to say at church, and I know that I know that I know that I can help you do that. Because I'm operating and I'm speaking from my lane. Not only am I speaking from my expertise, but I'm also speaking from my thought leadership. What makes your presence executive level? What can you talk about with confidence and clarity that makes you stand out? There has never been a better time than right here, right now to start talking, because the industry has gone quiet. The online industry has gotten really quiet. It's an amazing time to get noticed and to use your voice. The second part of executive presence was talking about connection and appearance. If you are selling a service, I want you to know that connection starts with understanding who you're selling to. Connection starts with also doing your work about what you believe about them and understanding that. I serve primarily Black women. I actually serve all women and I serve businesses, but the core of my business is in service to Black women. And I've seen other, especially coaches, service providers, struggle with the concept of wanting to serve Black women. But we hold the belief collectively. And I say collectively because I've seen so many women who want to serve other women that look like them struggle with this mindset. And this goes for my brown women too. I've seen it. I've seen and had conversations with brown women who struggle with, I want to serve my people, but whatever's after that but, whether you think they don't have the money, whether you don't think that they'll be interested, whatever you think it is, you need to reconcile that but. Everybody is open to buying anything if positioned the right way from the right person that connects the dots for them, that they feel like they can trust. Everybody. These are all thoughts. They're not truths. I have been buying coaching since 2017. I know lots of Black women who have been buying coaching or some version of personal development, professional development, just as long, if not longer. Whatever that is that's in the way of your confidence and you creating connection, which is likely a mindset shift that needs to happen, that's the work we do inside of CWL, whether it's for your career or for your business. And then the last part of executive presence was your appearance. How you showing up? And is it in alignment with your brand? You can show up looking any way if it's in alignment with your brand. I am still working on my post-corporate style. I've almost got it down. but not quite, because I've decided that I don't really want to wear blazers from my home office. The style I would like to evoke would be a pro black woman, a pro woman t shirt with a blazer, some jeans, and some heels. But I don't want to sit in a blazer. If I'm out and about, you will catch me in a blazer. It's a signature piece of mine. And I love that a blazer will dress something up. You can take the blazer off and still be dressy, but dress down. I love all the things about it. But again, just like I talked about in the careers section, when it comes to your appearance, how thoughtful are you about it? I'm thoughtful about the fact that I have been playing with my hair now that I'm not in corporate. The reality of it is, I never really had time to play with my hair. Even now, I've decided that I'm gonna go back to my Aaliyah hairstyle because it works for me. It keeps my hair in a healthy state, and trying to do the other things was just more than I could bear. It's not my number one go-to thing. Whereas your signature piece or style for you may be the switching up or changing of your hair. I'm just not good at it. I want it to be. I've tried. I just can't seem to get to the other side of it, but I tried. I did. I tried for the last several years, and I'm old for like 4 tries. Anywho, your appearance. When you're showing up for your business, are you showing up on brand as the CEO? Every once in a blue moon, I do mean in a blue moon, you would catch me on the internet without being put together. You're not going to catch me at the grocery store looking a hot mess. My grandmama has said, you don't leave the house looking a hot mess. And I grew up in the area of a Monique. So I grew up in the DMV. And I think it's a strong sentiment amongst the women that raised us, right? So if Monique's old enough to be my mother, right? My grandmother, her mother, it's a strong, you don't go outside looking any type of way. Like my grandmother had a thing, you don't even go to the mailbox looking crazy. You don't sit around the house looking crazy. So me showing up the way I do online is on brand for me, corporate or not. What's on brand for you? If what you're selling is how women can manage work and life, that may mean that your appearance does shift. But where it's shifting to is on brand. You will never catch me on these internet streets in my bed in a bonnet. You won't, because that's not on. First of all, it's not authentic to me. I gave you the reasons just now. Again, you won't even catch me outside, so I'm not about to do it online. It's just not. I'm not judging to say you should not do it. I'm saying if you're going to do it, is it on brand? If you're doing lifestyle content and you have a lifestyle business, showing up in your bonnet can work. What does your CEO appearance look like? I want you to evaluate your digital and in-person presence. Does your presence and messaging align with the level of business you want to attract? And if not, what small tweaks can you make to show up as the leader you are? Then last but not least, when we think about bringing all of this together, your voice is your biggest business asset if you use it. Day 7 was all about integrating everything that you've learned. As a business owner, this means showing up in protection of your reputation as a business owner, communicating with purpose, understanding who you're attempting to connect with in terms of your ideal audience and what they need to hear from you, and then prioritizing yourself and your goals. If you've ever felt stuck in your business, or if you feel like your business has plateaued and you just don't know where to go, I want you to ask yourself, are you prioritizing your voice and your goals? Are you talking to your people? Or are you waiting for things to happen? Are you working in the background to create some new content, to create some new course to create something that makes you feel better, but no one else ever gets to hear about. As business owners, we have to take ownership of how we show up. You must move from being reactive to proactive, and you must understand how business works, which means using your voice is a key aspect of making money. As a takeaway, I want you to ask yourself, why not you? And I want you to identify one area that comes up when you ask yourself that question, one area that's holding you back. Whether that is, I don't want to be seen on social media, I'm afraid people will judge me, I don't know what to say to pitch clients, or I don't even know where to start. Maybe it's you feeling defeated. You've been trying this for so long and you're still not getting the results. You may not know if you need to keep going. Keep going. Take the next best step. Commit to taking one bold action this week to use your voice as your biggest asset. You now have the tools to use strategic visibility, executive presence, and clear communication to amplify your voice, which means you amplify your business. But knowing this is not enough. Me telling you this and you consuming the information, which we like to do, is not enough. You have to put these lessons into practice. At Confident Women Lead, we are taking Speak Like a Leader to the next level. What's our promise? We're going to turn your voice into the biggest asset to your business growth. We're going to teach you that yes, you can run ads, you can post consistently or not, you can create lead magnets, you can do all of the things, you can create that content in the background, that course in the background, and you can even be working on perfecting your offer suite in an effort to grow your business. And those strategies matter, but there's a time and a place for everything. And those strategies only work if people connect with what you're saying. Your voice, how you communicate your ideas, how you communicate how you can help folks, how you pitch your business, then what you're offering, again, still coming from your voice. And when you're speaking, your ability to connect with your audience is your biggest asset. And y'all, for the most part, using your voice has the best rate of return than most anything. It's about showing up in a way that builds trust, inspires action, and turn conversations into clients. That is where Confident Women Lead comes in. And I, Coach Anita, am here to help. If you want to turn your voice into the biggest asset in your business, I'm going to need you to click the show notes and click on the link to join us for a limited time. The window to join, especially at this rate, will be expiring soon. I'm so delighted to have spent this time with you. I am looking forward to how you grow in your business. I'll talk to you soon.